All right, guys. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday to you. Had a relatively productive weekend, and I'll give you guys an update as to that, as to where I'm at. So I've gone ahead, and William received your letter in the mail, so thank you for that. This is the status of the Garrett Smithley that you requested, so this is where I'm at, right? I've got it painted and reassembled to this point. You can see it's still a little wet there, but it's been I don't know, 5 or 6 hours since I glued that, so those pieces are secure, and I'm ready to do some JB-Weld and put this all back together. But I've already trimmed out some of the decals here, as you can see. Let me get the camera a little bit straighter as to where I normally have it. And yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at. Those 3 plastic pieces are back in. Paint has dried sufficiently, so ready to go forward with that. Let me show you where else I'm at, and I'm pretty much at the same spot with all these other ones here. Joey, I remembered that you wanted this car as a die-cast chassis, and maybe I'm just getting old, but so I'm going to go ahead and finish making this one. And I just ordered last night a couple die-cast chassis off of eBay, and so I'm sure they'll get here later this week, and then I'll go ahead and put that together for you. I'm not sure this is the paint color I want to use. This is basically the Rust-Oleum purple. I'm thinking I'm going to use a different a purple, maybe like a metallic purple, the kind I use for the Kenseth Crown Royals, which is it's much more metallic, and it's just a better looking paint than this kind of standard gloss purple from Rust-Oleum. But anyways, that's where I'm at there. I've got these. The white takes a little bit longer for me, because what I do is I put a coat of the white primer. It's kind of a flat white primer from Rust-Oleum, and then I come back with a second coat of the actual flat, just a flat white. It's a paint and primer, but this gives it a nice white, pure white color, as you can see, and yeah, so I just got that done. So paint white takes a little bit longer than the other colors that I can usually do with just one coat. These are at the same stage here. You can see how that'll be nice with the Michael Annette donor car, and it's just that much nicer of a car when I'm able to match up the donor with the actual driver. Here's the Kevin Harvick number 4 Gravedigger. I used the Wave 11 gold Mobil 1 car for that. So Matt, this will be yours. And then I've got this for you, Josh. This is going to be the number 37 Ryan Priest Tide Power Pods. And so ready to move this to JB-Weld. So if you guys have seen me do JB-Weld, great. Then you might want to either skip this video altogether or put it on 2 times playback speed. It's up to you, but we're going to be doing some JB-Weld here. I got 6 cars ready to go. So move this to the side. Move my water because I don't really need that. And yeah, so this is what I do, guys. Sometimes when I paint, is I bought these a few of these at Walmart. They're just a simple. I think it's $4, and this one's Crispy Treats. I have different smells that I use, but I go ahead and light them up and let them burn. They provide a nice little smell. Something that is not too strong, and it seems to dissipate the paint fumes quite well. So yeah, so that's what's going on over here, and provides a little bit of warmth. My fingers sometimes get a little cold. I just grab a hold of the candle and it warms it up nice. All right, so let's get this going. And we'll see if I can get all 6 of these done here in the next few minutes. Try not to make a mess with this stuff because it can be very messy. That's for sure. Can always get more. I've had these tubes for a while, and I'm getting close. I've also noticed I've used more of the black than I have the white, so so I'm trying to maybe use a little bit less black. Maybe not so much of a 50-50 look, but because this is the steel, the white's the hardener, and yeah. For some reason I tend to run out of the steel before I run out of the hardener. Not sure why that is. It's supposed to be the same amount. This is 5 ounces. That's 5 ounces. But maybe I'm just a little bit more liberal when I start off with the steel than I am with the hardener. Alright, so let's get this mixed up here. No measuring. I just kind of eyeball it. And like I said, I've never really had a problem. Once I've started changing up my technique a little bit with how I apply this by putting it on the metal piece first and then putting the plastic on, I've never had anybody complain about the strength or the problems with the JB-Weld. So usually get that kind of gray color. You can see this is a little darker, or was maybe that a little darker, but yeah. So let's get this going. A little bit here. Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen me detail the little plastic pieces, like I said, it's not rocket science. It's very well. Nothing I do is rocket science. If I was doing rocket science stuff, I wouldn't be here. You know, this is just fun stuff, right? So yeah. Get it on there. I definitely like to get some on this area here around the windshield, especially on these Chevys. Not too concerned about this area here, but I'll put a little bit there. Again, trying to make sure I don't get anything on my fingers, because when I go to grab this, I don't want any of the JB-Weld getting on the exterior of this of these cars. Push that in there. Push that in there nicely. Yeah, congrats to Chase Briscoe. Glad that he was able to pull out the victory for his first win. Good for him. You know, it's always great to see a young guy. Maybe he's not as young as some of the other guys, but, you know, a young guy come out on top after years of labor. And I especially liked it when he got out of his car after the win and he kind of knelt down next to his car. I don't know if he's a Christian man or not, but, you know, there's something about humility that kind of draws us to him. You know, we like to see our people that we cheer for, our drivers, show humility and show some grace and, you know, deflect some of the praise that they get, right? And mention their sponsors and team and family and the like. That's always nice. But to see him get out and kneel, I don't know if I've ever seen a driver do that after winning a race. I thought that was pretty cool. If you've seen that happen, let me know. I have not. All right, let's just keep going, right? Let's see if we can get all 6 of these done here. Oof, that was close. I almost dipped the car right in the soup. The JB-Weld soup. I gotta be careful there. We had a special speaker at our church yesterday. That was nice. Guy, evangelist, is kind of on fire, trying to get us pumped for serving the Lord, spreading the gospel. It was very encouraging message and inspiring. You know, sometimes you need to be encouraged to get back out there, you know. Like I said, fired up for the work. So, it's really good. I heard you, Doug. Saw your message about amusing. I've had a lot of musings. I just haven't shared them with you guys. And so I will. I'll put together a video here shortly on some of my latest musings. I'll pick one and do that. If you can see here, I've kind of replaced using my gray paint pen with silver. I think that's it just sticks out a little bit more. You can see that there, and just looks better. So I think I'm going to do that. Continue on that theme. Do it here on my little, dash area. Then I put a little red on the end, and then I'm using it underneath. So a little bit of a change. Still no decals from Mr. Pato. I haven't checked the mail yet today, but if nothing today, I'm just going to order another set of everything I ordered back on December 8th or whenever it was. And if it comes in, then I got, double. But yeah, like I said, this is the first time in 12 years I've ordered from Mr. Pato and the decals have not arrived. So disappointing, but if that happens once every 12 years, I can't complain, to be honest with you guys. Again, my apologies for those of you that have been waiting for a long time. So, okay, let's get this in there. It's always a little tricky putting in these Xfinity ones where I've got to hold that front axle in place. Feels like it's staying in position pretty well, so I don't have to worry about clamping it. See how that sits down in there nicely. It's staying in there. So I don't have to worry about clamping that and holding that in place. All right, 3 down, 3 to go. Yeah, so I just take the silver around there, around the shifter. Oh, see, I got a little red up here where I don't want it. And that's what I do if I'm painting the interior and I get a little paint where I don't want it. Either wait till it dries and scrape it, or I take my black paint pen and paint over it. But yeah, so you kind of have to hold that in place when you go to do it. Pretty happy with the white. Looks pretty good. I'm going to have plenty of this JB-Weld. Did you guys notice Kyle Busch yesterday in a DeWalt car? That's the first time I've ever seen that. You have to let me know if you've ever seen Kyle Busch in a DeWalt car before. But that was awesome. When I first saw him, like, oh, it's another Christopher Bell, right? And then I was like, wait a minute, that's an 18 on the side there. That's not Bell, that's Kyle Busch. I just wonder what they're doing with him, because this is the last year M&M Mars, right, is sponsoring him. I wonder if he's going to get a mix of Interstate batteries, a mix of, DeWalt even. I don't know. I mean, when I heard initially it was coming out that, they weren't going to sponsor him anymore after this year, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe that's setting him up to get Monster. But I don't know. I don't know. I know he's got his own energy drink, the Rowdy drink, but I just wonder. Who's in line to get him, because he's still a terrific driver. He's still a top. Probably I would say top 5 driver, right? So I gotta think he's he's going to get some great sponsor, and maybe it's a combination of many. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious. Who do you guys think is going to be sponsoring Kyle Busch next year? Because I don't know. I'm very interested in knowing, because he's had so many different paint schemes with the M&Ms. I kind of botched drilling this out if you noticed that. He's had so many different paint schemes with the M&Ms. I'm just, whoa, I got a lot on here. I wonder if that's going to continue, or if he's going to get some kind of FedEx deal where Hamlin, basically drives the same paint scheme all year long. Which to me is, I don't know, I think it's boring as all get out when it comes to FedEx. I thought it was kind of cool when they had kind of wetted my finger there to keep from that sticking, but it didn't really work. No, I think it'd be interesting to see if he's going to get many different paint schemes next year, or if he's going to get just a couple. So I think if he had DeWalt, that'd be cool. I think if he had Monster, that'd be cool. I don't know. I hope he gets a cool sponsor. I'm just saying that. I have to be honest, I'm not a big Alex Bowman fan. He's got Ally Bank, and I don't know. It doesn't, whatever. Bank. Who wants to be sponsored by a bank? That's not exciting. You want to get sponsored by something cool. If you want to do some kind of, energy drink, or, I do think the Black Rifle Coffee car is pretty cool. Is that Ty Dillon? So, I don't know, it's just kind of cool, right? When you got a cool sponsor, I think that's just really neat. You can get some cool paint schemes. But, bank? I don't know. To me, that's a little lame. But money's money, right? People got to make money. People got to advertise their product and try to get people to buy their product or use their product or their service, right? So I'm curious though if M&M's Mars will do something like DeWalt did, right? So they dropped Kenseth and Roush Racing back in the day. 2009 was their last year, but then they kind of showed up a year later, and they've kind of sporadically sponsored. I remember they showed up sponsoring Marcus Ambrose, and I was like, hey, you dropped Matt, and now you're back in NASCAR, and you got a race here or a race there with this Australian guy. What's up with that? And then, and now they're doing kind of one-off, sponsors here with Joe Gibbs. Obviously, they came back and sponsored Matt a couple times in 2015, 2016, to kind of get back, with him, which was kind of cool. That was cool. But I wonder if M&M's is going to do that, or Mars is going to do that, right? So you won't see him, next year, but you'll see him maybe in 2 or 3 years, sponsoring, this car or that car, with somebody maybe completely different race team, I don't know. Yeah, I got a lot left over here, guys. I got one more car to do after this. I also have to be honest, this door number thing being moved up has not, I don't know, I just haven't gotten there yet. It's not sitting well with me. I watch the race and I'm like, I don't know, these cars, not only the car's different, of course, and the visual of the door numbers being moved forward is just not sitting with me. Maybe it'll take a year or two for that to catch on. But right now, I don't know. It's just not. I'm just not a fan of it. I actually kind of like watching the Xfinity series a little bit more now. I hate to say that. Maybe I'm just an old fart, right? Don't like change. They say that. But at the end of the day, it's just not aesthetically pleasing to me as the door numbers being right underneath the window. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like I said, maybe it'll just take some time for it to set in with me. So alrighty. You guys have seen how I do it. I can't really... I think I've showed you guys how I paint. It's pretty simple, right? Once you get all the stuff stripped off, and you get the car down to the bare metal and clean, then I wire brush it, use a little of the steel wool, and get it down to the bare metal and ready for paint. And I either prime it and then paint, or I use a paint and primer. That I'm very pleased that Rust-Oleum's come out with a paint and primer, which is just terrific. Because I can usually do it in one coat now, and that's just a huge time saver. No doubt about it. Kind of getting a little JB-Weld on that underneath, but I can paint a little white and paint that up later. But yeah, guys, this paint and primer stuff is really nice. It's really nice. This is the apple red. And even on that metallic one up there, it's an all-surface paint and primer. That copper rose, it's just terrific paint. So, you can say, hey, this stuff is on the cheaper end of the paint to use. Doug, you should use more of this, Testors type paint. And I do. I do use this stuff. But if I can match it with a Rust-Oleum, and get a one coat coverage of paint and primer, that's great. Because this, right, when I go to use this, I've got to prime it and then let it dry, and then I paint this over top of it. And that's the case with all of these right here. So I have actually gone to using more of the Rust-Oleum paints than the Testors or Model Masters than I used to. But yeah, that's what's going on, guys. Saw some JB-Weld. God bless. Take care.